Pregnant? Got the young boy.
They only knew. But like I was shocked too though. Like that day when I was riding home with Philly in the car, yeah. I don't know if I can tell that story. If you want me to tell that story.
Nah, she's a mother now.
She's a mother now, yeah, we can't do that. Cause that day changed my life. I ain't gonna lie. That day changed my life. That's when Swaggy P was like, okay, now this is what NBA is about.
Hey, listen, NBA, hey, listen, I'll let you know this is.
Yeah. When I'm riding in the car, he in the back seat. I turned my head, this nigga against, huh?
Nah.
What was you doing in that back seat, Gil?
Huh?
What was you doing in that back seat? Went to the strip club.
By now, everyone's heard about Jalen Green and Draya Michele, but here's what most people aren't talking about. This isn't just some celebrity drama or another NBA headline. It's a real-time lesson in pride, emotion, and how youth can make you believe you're untouchable. When you're young, rich, and in love, every warning sounds like hate until reality finally hits. Jalen's story? It's not just his. It's a mirror of what we've all been through, thinking we're in control, only to realize we never really were. By now, most people have heard about the situation involving Jalen Green and Draya Michele, and honestly, it's a tough one to watch unfold. The most striking part of it all is the significant age gap between them, nearly 17 years, which naturally raises eyebrows. Draya Michele has been in the public eye for quite some time, building her name and reputation within the entertainment world. Her journey hasn't been easy. It's been shaped by years of attention, scrutiny, and constant commentary from the industry and the public alike. Seeing her now involved in this situation just adds another complex layer to her already well-known story.
On the rumored relationship between Draya Michele and Jalen Green. Joe Budden called her a predator. But me personally, I don't know a whole lot about her. I mean, I know she dated Orlando Scandrick. I think they have a child together. But that's about what I know about her. Damn, Gil, why you under got a stone? Damn. Gil, this man sat up here stone face. I'm up here talking, so you know a lot about him.
Hey, your research team, stop researching.
I'm over here thinking about, man, yeah, you know.
Yeah, I know a little something.
And then there's Gilbert Arenas, who just couldn't seem to let the topic rest during that show. He brought it up with Shay, claiming he didn't really know much about Draya. But honestly, his expression said more than his words ever could. His face told the whole story without him needing to say a thing. And now, here we are, Draya Michele has begun posting about Jalen Green, and naturally, the internet has latched onto every detail. What started as simple curiosity has now turned into a full-blown online discussion, with people dissecting every post, every photo, every rumor. It's as if the relationship itself has become a public performance, and each new move adds more fuel to the fire. Then came the moment that took the conversation to another level, Jalen Green's tattoo. The image hit social media and instantly became a topic of debate. Fans, critics, and casual observers all had something to say. Some found it bold and romantic. Others thought it was reckless. But no matter how you spin it, it became the headline moment. And truthfully, no one outside of Jalen really knows what was going through his mind. Maybe, in his eyes, it was an act of loyalty, a symbol of commitment or confidence. Maybe he thought it was a power move, a way to show the world he's in control of his choices. Or maybe, like many people in their early 20s, he simply didn't think that far ahead. At that age, when emotions run high and the world seems to revolve around you, decisions often feel more symbolic than practical. A tattoo might not just be ink, it's a statement of defiance, of love, of I don't care what you think. But to outside observers, the whole thing looks messy. Not catastrophic, not immoral, just one of those moves that makes people shake their heads and say, he's going to look back and cringe one day. And maybe he will. Because impulsive decisions made under the bright lights of fame tend to age differently. What feels passionate in the moment can look naive in hindsight, especially when millions of people are watching and judging every step. Still, let's be honest, we've all been young once. We've all made choices that, at the time, felt completely justified. We've been blinded by emotion, pride, or excitement, convinced that our reasoning made sense. And more often than not, it takes time, and a few hard lessons, to see those moments for what they were, youthful missteps wrapped in confidence. The difference, of course, is that Jalen's mistakes aren't private. Every tattoo, every post, every relationship move is broadcast to millions. When the entire world can comment on your personal life, even small choices get magnified. That's the price of living in the spotlight. There's no room for quiet mistakes, no time for reflection before judgment arrives. People online will do what they always do: meme it, mock it, and move on. The internet has a way of turning someone's personal decisions into entertainment, stripping away empathy in favor of reactions and retweets. But from Jalen's point of view, none of that noise probably matters. He's young, successful, wealthy, and surrounded by people who tell him he's on top of the world. Why would he listen to criticism when life seems to be rewarding him anyway? And that mindset isn't arrogance, it's human nature. When you're winning, when you reach heights that most people can only dream of, it's easy to see doubt as jealousy. To him, every critic is a hater, every warning is negativity, every opinion is noise. He's worked hard, earned his success, and he probably feels he's earned the right to make his own choices, no matter how they look from the outside. In a way, it's a pattern that repeats itself across generations. Youth tends to equate independence with invincibility. There's this unspoken belief that the world's warnings don't apply to you, that you'll be the exception to every cautionary tale. And when you're surrounded by fame, money, and constant validation, that illusion only grows stronger. But the thing about life, and especially about fame, is that it always catches up. Eventually, everyone reaches a moment where they realize that not all advice comes from hate. Sometimes, the people who criticize you aren't trying to tear you down. They are trying to save you from the very fall they once took. Jalen might not see that yet. To him, the tattoo probably feels empowering, like a mark of individuality or loyalty. He's in that stage of life where you make decisions for emotion's sake, not longevity. But years from now, when the spotlight shifts, when the relationship changes, or when perspective sets in, he might look back and understand why so many people tried to warn him. Still, that doesn't make his actions unforgivable or even foolish. It makes them human. Every person who's ever been in love, who's ever wanted to prove themselves, who's ever ignored advice thinking this time is different, can relate. The only difference is that most of us get to learn those lessons quietly, without the world watching. So yes, people will continue to laugh, comment, and debate his choices. But at the end of the day, he's living his story the only way he knows how. He'll make mistakes, learn from them, and hopefully come out wiser. And honestly, isn't that what youth is for? To take risks, to love boldly, to learn painfully, and to eventually grow into the kind of person who looks back and says, I get it now. Maybe that's why the story resonates so much. It's not just about Jalen or Draya. It's about everyone who's ever been young, stubborn, and certain they knew better. It's a reminder that growth doesn't happen in a straight line. Sometimes, it takes a tattoo, a headline, or a little bit of public embarrassment to teach a lesson. And when that lesson finally lands, you don't see the situation as a failure anymore, you see it as part of the journey. And to be fair, that mindset isn't new. When you're young and thriving, you feel untouchable, like no one can tell you anything. That's exactly what's happening here. Jalen's doing great in the NBA, he's talented, and his career's only getting started. So how do you deal with someone who's convinced they are on top of the world? You don't. People like that often have to learn through experience, sometimes the hard way. At the end of the day, every person goes through a stage where they think they've figured it all out, only to realize later how much growing they still had to do. That's life, especially when fame and money arrive before wisdom does. Later in the story, the speaker shares a personal experience, one that taught him a hard lesson about attachment and perception. He once discovered that someone he cared deeply for wasn't as exclusive with him as he had believed. What he thought was a unique emotional connection turned out to be something she had shared before, in almost the exact same way. It was a wake-up call. He realized that sometimes, what feels special in a relationship might just be a repeated pattern, an experience that's less about you and more about how that person interacts with others. It's a humbling truth that many people eventually learn. Being someone's favorite for the moment isn't the same as being irreplaceable. And that's where his message turns back to Jalen Green. He suggests that Jalen might be making the same mistake, believing he's in full control of a situation that might actually be controlling him. When you're young, successful, and confident, it's easy to think you're the one steering the ship. But sometimes, without realizing it, you give someone else that power. Draya, being older and more experienced, knows how to navigate these dynamics. From the outside looking in, It almost seems like she's setting the tone while Jalen follows her lead. And ironically, the more people try to warn him or criticize his choices, the more he's likely to dig in and defend them. In the end, it's not just a story about gossip or celebrity relationships, it's a reflection of how pride, emotion, and inexperience often collide. Everyone believes they're in control until life teaches them otherwise. At this point, the speaker makes a broader point, one that goes beyond just Jalen and Draya. He says situations like this aren't rare. In fact, many of us have someone in our own families who's caught up in a relationship that's clearly not healthy. You can try to warn them, reason with them, or even step in to help, but no matter what you say, they keep going back. It's frustrating to watch. Whether it's a sister with a troublesome boyfriend or a friend stuck in a toxic relationship, your advice often falls on deaf ears. Sometimes you argue, sometimes you fight, and a few days later, they are right back where they started. That's just how people are when they are not ready to change. With time, the speaker says he's learned to let go. Everyone has to make their own choices and face their own consequences. If you like it, I love it, he says, meaning if someone's content living that way, then so be it. Life's too short to keep trying to rescue people who don't want to be saved. Then he circles back to Jalen's situation, saying that if a young man chooses to date someone older and more experienced, even to the point of getting her name tattooed on his back, that's his decision. But he should also understand what comes with it. It's one thing to be with someone who genuinely adds value to your life. It's another to ignore every red flag because you're caught up in the moment. In short, the lesson is universal. You can't convince someone to walk away from something they are not ready to leave. Experience, not advice, is often the only teacher that truly works. In the end, the speaker drives home one undeniable truth. You can't save people who don't want to be saved. Sometimes, trying to talk sense into someone who's determined to make their own mistakes feels like yelling into the wind. Exhausting, fruitless, and ultimately pointless. When a person has already made up their mind to keep chasing a situation that's clearly not good for them, logic rarely stands a chance. It's one of life's hardest lessons to accept, that no matter how much you care about someone, you can't force growth. You can't make someone see what they are not ready to see. Whether it's a friend stuck in a toxic relationship, a relative ignoring sound advice, or a young athlete like Jalen Green navigating fame and love under a public microscope, the outcome is often the same. They'll only understand when they've lived through it themselves. And that's where the speaker's wisdom hits deepest. Experience is the best, and often the only, teacher. You can lecture someone all you want, but words can't replicate the sting of a lesson learned firsthand. It's through mistakes, heartbreaks, and misjudgments that people grow into the wiser, more grounded versions of themselves. Jalen, like everyone else, will learn in his own time. He'll have moments where the advice he once brushed off suddenly makes sense, not because someone repeated it enough, but because life finally showed him why it mattered. The speaker's message, while framed in a pop culture story, resonates far beyond celebrity gossip. It's a reminder that every person's growth has its own timeline. You can't rush wisdom, and you can't hand someone perspective like a gift. Wisdom doesn't come through lectures, it comes through lived experience, often the kind that hurts before it heals. So instead of chasing after people who refuse to listen, the speaker suggests something far more valuable. Redirect your energy inward. Focus on yourself, on your own goals, your mental peace, your personal development, and the relationships that actually feed your spirit. There's a quiet kind of strength in knowing when to step back. It's not about giving up on people. It's about respecting their process and preserving your own sanity in the meantime. Because at the end of the day, you can't live someone else's lessons for them. You can guide, warn, and support, but you can't take the fall, feel the pain, or earn the growth that's meant for them. The truth is, people often confuse caring with controlling. They believe that if they just say the right thing or intervene at the right moment, they can fix the situation. But growth doesn't work like that. Real understanding comes when consequences meet choices, not when someone shields you from them. And maybe that's what makes the speaker's tone so relatable. Beneath the humor and the commentary lies a hard-earned acceptance. Life teaches everyone differently. Some learn through quiet reflection, others through chaos and heartbreak. Some people need to lose everything before they realize what truly matters. And while it's painful to watch someone spiral toward a mistake you can clearly see coming, it's also part of the natural order of things. There's a certain beauty in letting go, in choosing to observe rather than interfere, to understand rather than control. It's a skill that comes with age, patience, and a few personal burns of your own. The speaker even implies that he's been there too, that his calm perspective wasn't born from superiority but from experience. After you've fallen on your face enough times, you stop trying to stop others from doing the same. You simply learn to say, "They'll figure it out." And that mindset is liberating. When you stop pouring your energy into fixing others, you reclaim it for yourself. You start investing that energy into your goals, your family, your peace of mind. And ironically, you become a better influence by example rather than by instruction. People who aren't ready to hear advice today might one day remember your calmness, your boundaries, and the way you handled things with grace. In the speaker's closing thoughts, that's really what his message circles back to. Focus on what you can control, yourself. The world will always have its share of people making questionable choices, chasing the wrong relationships, or ignoring good counsel. But that's part of the human condition. Everyone's fighting their own unseen battles, and everyone's on their own timeline of learning. So instead of judging or trying to force change, the wiser approach is to let people live their story while you keep writing your own. If they stumble, they'll learn. If they rise, they'll appreciate it more because of what they've overcome. Either way, it's their journey, and your role isn't to rewrite it, but to cheer them on from the sidelines when they are ready to do better. And with that, the speaker signs off in his usual way, a mix of humor, realism, and sincerity. He thanks his listeners, reminds them to stay alert, to keep their focus where it matters, and to learn from every twist life throws their way. Because at the end of it all, wisdom isn't about knowing everything. It's about recognizing when to let life do the teaching.